Okay, Florida, this is the frap that I did of Blind Sight. At the point where you're looking at it right now, I had just turned fraps on. Prior to this, the guy was on a dead run toward this building, and it looks fairly close right now. I'm using a 21 with a scope, but in a second you'll see it pan out, and you can see that he's probably about 300 or 400 meters away. Uh, Now, what's interesting about it is as he was running toward this guy, obviously, when you're running, you don't have your sights up and you can't see that far. But you know, watching him without sights, I could see the person using the Parker. Uh, Yet he stopped and pulled up and started firing at the guy instantly. Now, the guy did have a hand sticking out and did have a rifle sticking out. But at 300 meters on a dead run, that's kind of hard to detect. And he he didn't go off of his trail. I mean, that was where he was headed. And I had been watching him up to that point. It was clear to me that he had to have used a Parker. Now, the other interesting thing is prior to this, earlier in the game, uh, I had gone into that same building on the opposite side of the map and was hiding on one of the floors. Well, he climbed up one of the ladders, jumped off onto a higher floor, dropped down onto my floor, went to an area behind a wall where I was hidden, looked straight at me, and fired. Now, I don't see how you can do that if you're not using a Parker. The other thing about him is that, as you can see now, he's getting ready to throw nades at this guy. But the other thing that's interesting is that I'd been watching him for the other three maps, and he was very hard to detect, but he won all three maps. Now, why? Because he just seemed to be able to find people. Uh, what I found interesting about that is that in watching him, he never dwelled on anybody that was green. He always passed over them. But if anything red was showing, hand, foot, didn't matter, he stopped and he fired at them. I just can't see him doing that well without a Parker.